How you doing? I mean, how do you introduce this thing?
Welcome to HIA Essentials, your guide to smart purchases and long-lasting value, brought to you by Holt Insurance.
One of the things that we've wanted to do here at the agency, and I've wanted to do myself for a decade now, is start a podcast, start a YouTube channel, start a social media platform that can provide guidance to people. And the hard part when doing that is deciding what you're going to say and how you're going to approach people. You can go the self-help route. You can go to people and say, here's how you can make your life better. Here's the reason you're sad. Here's why you don't do all of your work. Here's how the 7 ways that you can make better habits in your life to solve all your problems. And that's all great. There is value there. But I know for myself, being stuck in the productivity ring for 15 years now, it's kind of a circle. You just keep falling. It's an ebb and flow. You hit a high and you feel like, oh crap, this is my life. I can do this forever. And then you get hit sideways and you go in a deep hole and you're like, wow, this is stupid. Let me go find some answer to my problem. And then you follow that and you hit a high and then you fall back down. And life's too short to keep trying to figure out what you're going to do or how you're going to do it instead of just doing it. So that kind of is a summation of why I'm here talking to you today. But the great thing is that I'm actually super excited to be here and explain this. I'm not adding noise to a already super noisy industry. I'm actually here with a fresh approach to what I believe is going to provide value to everyone. My hope with what we're calling HIA Essentials is to provide guidance for everyone on how to make smarter purchasing decisions, how to take care of the investments you make in your life, the possessions that you work so hard to purchase. When it comes time to selling those things, doing it the right way. In that regard, it's kind of a breakdown of how we got to this point. Again, like I said, me personally, I've wanted to do something like this for a long time. The reason we're doing it now is because here at Holt Insurance Agency, we have a great business model. We have an amazing staff here that takes care of all of our clients. We couldn't be more proud of the business and the people that work here. We're hoping that we can honestly provide unbiased guidance in the public making smarter purchasing decisions and keeping those decisions having long-lasting value for a long time. All that to be said, HIA Essentials is a resource for you to come and learn about buying, maintaining, and selling houses and cars and high-value items, jewelry and furs and watches and art and all of these things that you spend large amounts of money on, and doing it smartly and doing it in a way that is going to make longest lasting value for you and your family. All that to be said, kind of a breakdown of what we're going to do here. We're going to have this podcast, like I said, adding to the whole world of podcast noise, but I really think it's going to be great because we're going to have industry experts in to tell us about how to go about buying your first home, when you know it's time to buy a new car, or when you should lease a car versus owning a car, or if you've always wanted to, move away from your smartwatch into a nicer watch, and what that looks like and how to enter that market and how to take care of those things once you do it. If you've got to buy an engagement ring, if you're looking to buy an engagement ring, where do you go? How do you go about that? Do you just go blindly do it? Do you just take your fiance or your fiance to be to a jewelry store to have her pick it out and then take it and give it to her? How do you go about that? And how do industry experts recommend you going about it? And the great thing for us is that when we talk to those individuals, we don't have an inherent bias for you to follow their advice, or we don't get a kickback from you doing something or following them. So it allows us to really give you guidance that we believe is the best thing for you. Beyond the podcast, we'll have our YouTube channel where we'll be also sharing video versions of those podcasts when available, but we'll also have, guides to help you make the smartest decisions. So really broken down pieces, we'll take bits and pieces from the podcast and other things, illustrations, explainers, those kind of things to help you figure out how you buy a house. So that's kind of what we got. The first thing we got coming up is how to buy a house. From having the idea that you want to buy a house to moving your couch into your living room, what does that look like? A really high level guide to doing that. And then same thing with buying a car, and same thing with starting a collection. All of those things, how you get that, how do you even enter that market so that you can then be active in that market. And then beyond that, how to take care of those things once you have them. And then beyond that, diving deeper on, okay, how do I know if I know how much money I want to put down for a house? What markers do I look at? When is it good to buy a house in certain markets? That kind of thing. All of those things that we can provide guidance for on, again, by talking to experts and being in the realm and being able to communicate that in a layman term where you kind of understand it and know how and when to make those purchases. So that's our YouTube channel, kind of diving deep on all of those things. We'll also have some product reviews here and there, again, unbiased, unpaid for, all of those things. And then we'll also be on social media. And this is where we hope that we can provide a lot of value for not only the clients of our insurance agency, but also you all out there as well. So we're hopeful to make super engaging, entertaining content that will be interesting to watch, but also super informative and allow you to always kind of be on the edge with us and learning whenever we find something that we want to put out there. And that's also the piece that we're super excited about, is being able to engage with the community, being able to hear what you have to say, answer your questions, whether it be in a video response or right there in comments. So we hope that you're active on those channels and tell us where we're wrong, tell us where you think you disagree with us, so that we can have this dialogue, so that in the long run we're all in a better position. That's our hope. That we have nothing to sell here. We're just trying to be honest and open and help people live a better life with their possessions. I actually have a quote that I was hopeful I would memorize, but I did not. And it's funny, I didn't even think about this book until today when this quote popped up. But the book Die With Zero by Bill Perkins, I read it a few months back and had this great effect on me. And it's a lot about spending money now when you can actually use it, as opposed to waiting to spend your money when you're retired. So basically enjoying the present as it is now. And that kind of aligns with this whole thing. And this quote popped up on my feed and I was like, holy crap, this is exactly what we're talking about. So the quote is, making deliberate choices about how to spend your money and your time is the essence of making the most of your life energy. So he's talking about taking vacations now, but in that same way, he's talking about, okay, maybe you should buy that sports car when you're 35 or 40, or when you can still enjoy it. Or maybe it makes sense for you to enter the world of watch collecting right now when you've got that extra money, when the stock market's not in a good way and you have a little bit of discretionary income. Maybe you actually use that money to enjoy it now instead of pushing it aside so that you can enjoy it later, because you don't know A, if there's going to be a later, and B, if you're going to even need that money down the road. So a book I really recommend, and maybe something to look back at for this channel. So I hope this is all kind of high level and understandable, and I'm super excited about it. One thing that I've always wanted to do, and I think that there's a oddly big hole in this market. Nobody else is out there doing this. There's plenty of places that are helping you know when you can afford to buy things and helping you buy their things. So saying, hey, buy our stuff. Our stuff's great. But not many people out there saying, maybe you should buy this, or maybe you should wait, or maybe you should do this, and giving you options and guidance that doesn't have an ulterior motive. So Again, I look forward to it. I look forward to you subscribing to the podcast or us on YouTube or following us on social media, because in the next 6 months, we're really going to be pushing this, and we hope that you engage, and we'll see you out there on the comments, and hope that we can help you, because ultimately our goal is to provide a resource for everyone. And that's one thing that our insurance agency, being limited to offering personal lines insurance to people in Tennessee, is something we haven't felt in the past, and an opportunity that we really have in the future. So again, thanks so much. I'm Keith Holt with Holt Insurance. Welcome to HIA Essentials, and we'll see you in the next episode.